Hi, my name is Bailey Eschbach, and I am providing a strategic plan and update for Warrensburg Latham School District. So, to begin, I think that Warrensburg Latham School District has a really unique aspect to it, as all of the schools, elementary, middle, and high school, are all in the same building and they're all connected. And then all of the athletic fields are also on the same campus, which is something that I think is unique. And I think that's something definitely to emphasize on in the strategic plan. Then definitely keep the emphasis on the mission statement of one community, one district, one family. I think that's a great mission statement and something that has a great impact. The size of the district is also something to really focus on here because the district is so small, having class sizes be from 65 to 80 students. I think it's really important to emphasize on that and explain how that can be beneficial to a student's learning. Then, of course, you want to talk about the school's focus, and each of the schools may have a different focus, even though they're all under one district. But I think that all of those are going to be really important to put into the strategic plan. Then you really want to talk about the past, current, and future of not only the school, but also talk about past students, the alumni, current students, and then potential students, as well as some of the great faculty members that are at the school now and have been at the school in the past. Then, of course, you want to talk about what is working well within the school district and what also needs some more work. And you are really going to focus on what needs more work, especially in the strategic plan. So, in this presentation, we're going to be talking about what is in the current strategic plan that's missing, vague, or unclear. We're going to cover the values and the mission statement that are currently there and talk about whether or not they could be better or not. Same with the action plan. We really want to talk about the best way to format and word each of the pieces of a strategic plan. Then another really important aspect to the plan is going to be the structure and the design. So we're going to talk about some of the issues that are there currently, and I'm going to offer some potential recommendations. Then giving a proper order to your plan so it doesn't seem all over the place. That's going to be really important in how the plan flows. And of course, the recommendations that I'm going to provide. So, some of the elements that are currently missing from the strategic plan are a vision statement. So, a vision statement is going to be looking at the future of the district and what you want the district to look like. Then you want to talk about your SWOT, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So you want to emphasize on those, especially those strengths and weaknesses, but also opportunities for the district, and then the things that may prevent the plan from going into place. And then PESTLE, which stands for political, economic, social, technological, legal, and ethical. Those are all really seemingly boring aspects to a district, but they're all really important and need to be put into the strategic plan. Then you're definitely going to want to cover the short term goals, which are going to talk about the bigger goals that you have in place and break them up so that they seem more achievable. And then, of course, the assessment cycle. This is like the district's life cycle. So it's going to go through student and faculty from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade before and after they graduate and talk about how that life cycle is beneficial and how it keeps repeating over and over and how you want it to continue to do so. So some of the elements that are vague or unclear, you want to create more clear and concise sentences. Some of them are filled with jargon and extensive, and that's just not necessary, but you do want to go into further detail. So I'm going to talk about ways to do that here. You definitely want to eliminate any of the spelling errors. I noticed some in the current strategic plan, and I think that looking back over them, it will be really easy to find them and fix them really quickly. Then the sizing of the text, because it's on Google Slides, the sizes are all different for each slide. And I think that it makes some of those slides and text boxes really difficult to read. So then you can't really understand what the point is that you're trying to get across. For the value statement, I think you guys have great core values, and just expanding a little more on those values is going to be really important. So you talk about community engagement, communication and shared leadership, facilities and safety management, financial responsibility, student achievement, and staff recruitment and retention. Those are all great, but that's really all you have to it. And I think that you could expand a little more on each of those bullet points. The mission statement is something that I really love, and any alum of Warrensburg Latham really identifies with the current and past mission statements that have been in place. I love that it's broken up to be worded in the word of the mascot, cards, and I think that each of the letters stand for a great aspect that relates to Warrensburg Latham. So the C is community pride, A is academic excellence, R is relationships, D is data-driven instruction, and then S is the student development. For the action plan, so the current one is attract and retain highly qualified, positive, motivated personnel to provide a work environment that promotes and recognizes excellence in performance, collaboration, open communication, and commitment to learning and implementing best practices to improve student performance while prioritizing staff wellness. So that's a little bit of a mouthful, and I think breaking it up a little bit will make it easier to read, but also to understand. So this is what I have recommended. Attract and retain qualified, positive, and motivated faculty that will improve work environment for students and staff through recognition, collaboration, communication, implementation, and prioritization. So that's the same thing that you were saying in the above, the current thing in the strategic plan, but it's going to break up that big chunk of text and allow you to build off of those bullet points a little more. Some of the structural issues that are in the strategic plan, there's a lack of order to all of the elements, and I think getting a nice flow is really going to help with that lack of order. There's not really an expansion on the main points currently, and I think that talking about them a little more in detail is going to get a better understanding for anyone who looks at and reads the strategic plan. Then I've already discussed the spelling errors and how that can limit the professionalism aspect of the strategic plan. There's some key elements that are completely missing, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, and how that can really boost the current state of the strategic plan that is already out there, and then that vagueness that can easily be fixed with some more details and going further in depth with each of those main points. Then the design issues. So on this Google Slides format that you have, it has some parts that are difficult to read. The icons and text are off center in a lot of places. And then the table is also hard to read and follow. And I think that just having it displayed as this PowerPoint Google Slides format is not going to be as effective as it is if it were just a plain PDF all laid out in one format instead of broken up into two. I think that would really help the majority, if not all, of the design issues that you currently have. So for a strategic plan, there's a great order that you should follow so that it's easier to read, and then you can break it up a little bit so it doesn't feel like this big, giant, long essay that you're trying to write. So for the first section is going to be mission statement, then the vision statement, then the value statement. Then you're going to put your SWOT and PESTLE in there, the short-term goals. You want to add the long-term goals, anything you want to achieve further down the road, action plan, and then the assessment cycle. So for some of my recommendations, I would say that changing the format and the platform would really boost the success of the strategic plan. Add some of the missing points that are currently there or missing. Expand on existing points that you have now and make them go further into detail. Use more clear and concise language so that you're not coming off as too smart for anyone to read. Then you want to check on that spelling and grammar and go back and forth and really make sure that everything looks good, sounds good, is readable, and makes sense. Then, of course, improve that design and visibility, make it easier for people to look at, but make it still fun to look at, which I know was the point of that Google Slides. And then for the summary, I created this table to talk about all the recommendations in one little space so that it's easy to refer back to. So you want to change the format and platform that it's currently on. Formatting plays a huge role in overall appearance, and I think that changing the overall format and changing it from Google Slides to a PDF would improve the professionalism of the strategic plan. Then you want to add any missing points. So vision statement, the SWOT PESTLE analysis, short-term goals, and assessment cycle. Those are all missing, but they're really important to the success of a strategic plan. Then you want to expand on existing points. So many of the existing elements are brief or vague. So just go further into detail on those and really make it easy to understand and very clear. And use clear and concise language when you're doing that. So anything that you feel like you expanded on, look back on that and see if you would be able to understand that if you weren't in the position that you're currently in. So you're going to eliminate that unnecessary jargon and make it easier for anyone looking at this strategic plan to understand it. Then check the spelling and grammar every step of the way. Spelling and grammar mistakes reduce professional appearance massively, and it's such an easy fix. Improve design and visibility. So you want to make sure that all your text boxes, your icons, tables, and images are all clear, properly aligned, and easy to look at, read, and see. So overall, you really want to embrace the unique qualities of the Warrensburg Latham School District, include the past, present, and current information on the school and the students and the faculty, set both short and long-term goals for the district, and then promote one community, one district, one family. I think it's a great mission statement, and it's going to be something that is really relatable and makes anyone that has gone to or is looking to go to Warrensburg Latham School District really feel at home right away.